Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Mind the Moment Tuesday morning mindfulness gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to talk with us about what mindfulness means to them, and to also discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and I am so happy to be here again with Greg Topakian, longtime meditator and mindfulness instructor. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Suzanne. Nice to be here.
So nice to have you here this morning on this rainy Tuesday morning.
Nice to be inside.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that. So today, Greg will lead us in a guided meditation practice. And after that, we'll have some time for questions from the group. So if you happen to think of any questions, you want to put them in the chat ahead of time, that's great. But do open up the chat at the bottom of your screen. And if you'd like, hit on the drop-down menu, you can choose panelists and attendees. So you can watch the chat live as it happens. All right, so that is it for the guidance here from me, and we'll hand it off to Greg. What question do you have this morning, Greg, for the group?
Yes, well, I do have a question. I have many questions, but the question for the for all the people who are here today is in line with the theme of the month, which is how do we support the new habit to offer a kind word to ourselves and to others? In light of that theme, the question is how do we support that as a new habit? You know, if we're more inclined to be harsh to ourselves in our words, or we withhold saying hello or smiling to other people, and we wish we were a little more forthcoming with a kind word, how does that happen? You know, how do we actually support the arising of new habits like that? So that's the question that I have for people, and our time together today will address that question also, and hopefully move us in that direction. So I'm very happy to be here today, and I have the extra opportunity to be here twice this week. I'll be filling in for Tara on Thursday as she has another commitment. And so I thought I would use the two times together to introduce and review two very important qualities of the mind and heart, like gratitude and sympathetic joy. So today we'll work with gratitude, just our inclination to feel appreciation for all the good things we have in our life. And on Thursday, we'll work with sympathetic joy, sometimes called empathetic joy, which is about the feeling of excitement and happiness when we see or experience the good fortune of someone else. And what's being suggested with these two qualities of the mind and heart, gratitude and sympathetic joy, is that we're going to be exploring, well, what's their relationship to mindfulness? And also, what are their relationship to our wanting to cultivate this habit of offering a kind word? Those will be little experiments for ourselves over the next couple of days. If we practice gratitude, are we more likely to actually feel happy for others when they experience good fortune, right? If we're feeling good about what we have in our life, maybe there's more room in the heart to feel good for others. And when we're feeling more gratitude, and when we are feeling joy at the good fortune of another, and more inclined that way, are we more likely to offer kind words to people and to ourselves? So this is the hypothesis out there that we're all interested in testing. And guess what? In order to see the results, we have to be awake. We have to be aware. We have to be mindful. What does it feel like when we're practicing gratitude? What is it? How do we feel? What is the body-mind experiencing when we're feeling joy at the good fortune of another? Are we more inclined to be awake? Are we more inclined to offer a kind word? Okay, so let's start with a gratitude practice. I'll invite you to find a comfortable position for yourself. So checking in with the body. Probably most of us are sitting on a chair, but any posture is fine. Checking in with the body, sensations of the body. Bringing your attention to what's happening right now in this present moment. I mean, we're here right now. Why not be here 100%? And what I'm going to do for the next few minutes is I'm going to suggest various dimensions in our lives for which we might feel gratitude. And I'm going to ask some questions which will hopefully serve to provoke gratitude for you. Questions like, do I really appreciate what's available to me in this particular dimension of our life? How would I act? How would I be in life if I really did appreciate it? What would it feel like if it wasn't there? How can I support the arising of gratitude so it comes up more often? And is there anybody in particular that I need to thank or to be grateful for? So I'll prompt with those questions as we run through 2 or 3 dimensions in our lives. And the first dimension I'll suggest is the dimension of our health. Now, we've all been around the block in life a bit, so we all have our aches and pains, and some more than others. And if it's really a difficult time for you, health-wise, please, my sympathies. But here's the truth. We are all here in this moment together. We're breathing, we're practicing. And so we do have good enough physical health to be able to appreciate this moment. So can we do that? Rather than just focusing on what hurts, can we tap into what feels right in the body right now as we sit quietly, mindfully adjusting our posture just to have the back and shoulders feel right, letting the head bob back and forth? Do I appreciate the physical health that I do experience? How would I act in life if I really did appreciate it? Would I be more willing to take care of myself, to understand how precious this health is, how vulnerable we are? What would it feel like if the good health that I do experience, I lost that? What would it feel like if I lost that? How much would I miss it? Does that help me to appreciate it? What can I do to help recall this appreciation for my good health? So just to take a moment, relating to physical health is appreciation for our 5 functioning physical senses. Do we appreciate our capacity to see and to see beauty? How about to taste delicious food? right? Can we be there for that? Do we have gratitude for that? To touch, whether it's to hug someone when we have that possibility or opportunity, whether it's to feel coolness on a hot day or nice warmth on a cold day, feeling that sensation of contact with the skin, smell, fresh flowers, fresh bread in the oven, music, sound, hearing. When we tap into it, we realize these are not small things, right? We all know people who don't have these opportunities as widely as most of us do. Okay, and how about a second dimension of our lives? The people with which we have a strong connection. Now, none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. The people we love are not perfect. But isn't it special to know deep down that we have some people around us that will be there for us in a time of need, that we know that deep down, even if they push our buttons sometimes. We know that if we needed them, they would step up. And what a deep contentment that is. Do I really appreciate that? Do I honor that? How would I live my life if I really did appreciate it? Would I listen better? Would I make sure I'm really there for them 110%? What would it feel like if they weren't there for me? How much emptiness might I feel? What can I do to help support the remembering to feel gratitude for these people? And maybe one more dimension before we open it up to questions and answers. Do we have gratitude for all the resources that we have at our disposal? I'm going to take the chance to assume that each one of us here today has a roof over our heads, four walls of our house or apartment, that it's warm, that we have running water, even hot water. Do we know how special it is to take a hot shower? We have food in the refrigerator. It only takes a second, I think, for most of us to realize how fortunate we are. Do I really appreciate these things, or do I take them for granted? The point isn't to judge ourselves if we take them for granted. The point is to motivate ourselves to feel the joy of having access to these things. What can I do to help remind myself to support the arising of gratitude? And I'll count backwards from 3. And when I get to 1, I'll invite you to reopen your eyes and come back to the room. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you so much, Greg.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, I think a lot folks had some wonderful things to share when you asked that question about how can we bring gratefulness into our daily lives. Someone mentioned with yoga and meditation, setting an intention. I think that's a great idea. And putting out a few subtle reminders, be kind, listen, soften the heart.
And I see someone saying that before going to bed or while in bed before sleeping, just to recall the things for which we feel gratitude. You know, there's a saying from the wisdom traditions of the past, what we think and ponder upon, so becomes the tendency of the mind. So what does that mean? That means that in the beginning, if we're nudging ourselves to remember to practice gratitude, soon enough, that becomes a habit that arises spontaneously. We more naturally turn to that as an activity of the mind. The more we do it, the more likely it becomes that we will do it. Now, the ancient wisdom tradition suggested that, and the 20th and 21st century scientific traditions support the same thing. They call it neuroplasticity, but it means the same thing. It basically means the types of activities that we engage in actually reshape the brain. And there's scientific evidence for that as well. So in the beginning, maybe we have to nudge ourselves a little bit more. But if we get in the habit, then soon enough it takes less and less effort and it more naturally arises.
Yeah, someone mentioned here, gratitude nurtures optimism, which I really like.
Yeah. There are all these interrelationships between all these, sometimes they're called the divine contemplations or spiritual perfections or whatever you call them. There's all these interrelationships between mindfulness and gratitude and generosity and sympathetic joy, patience, optimism, resilience. I think they're all tied together by mindfulness, because here's the key. When we're feeling gratitude, or when we're feeling joy at the good fortune of another, or when we're offering a kind word to ourselves or to another, if we're awake, we can actually pay attention to what does it feel like to experience that quality of heart and mind? What does it feel like to be kind? And I'm going to take a chance here and say, for most of us, it feels pretty good. You know, during the offering of a kind word to another, afterwards it feels good. And if we're awake for that, then that's getting stored in the memory of the body and mind. And so we more naturally call that up in the future because it's stored in that memory. As we more naturally call that up as a way to be in the world. And then it just begins to build its own momentum. So mindfulness is the key to notice, what are the effects on my life when I act in these more positive ways?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. During this time of masking, many times you can't tell if someone is, if you're walking by someone, you can't really tell if they're looking or you catch their eye to say hello. So I've just been of the mindset I wave to everybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm going even more out of the way to connect with people because of the fact that we don't really, sometimes we can't see if we're catching that person's eye. So,
Right.
and because there's been so much disconnection that everybody's thirsting for that right now.
No, absolutely. So that person who live, if you take walks, like I take lots of walks, I notice, a little more inclination on my part and on some of my neighbors' parts to actually engage. Whereas before it was just hi, and now it's like, we're all starving for this a little bit, some more connection. But what does it feel like? Well, these people that, oh, I didn't really, now it's like, oh yeah, yeah, that's nice, and I don't want to make a miracle out of it, but it's just okay for a few seconds, for a few moments. All right, some human connection there, and more likely to bring that home into my house and re-enter my house with a smile rather than a frown. So I noticed someone here using the phrase "pay it forward." Exactly, you know. Uh, Noticing what types of behaviors actually uh, uh, bring contentment, joy, and peace to the mind and heart. And again, the suggestion is that offering kindness, feeling gratitude, practicing patience, uh, if we really notice what they feel like, they feel pretty good,
Mm.
and that's how this big ship of our life gradually begins to change directions in a positive way.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many things that I just named a few dimensions, right? You have your own dimensions uh, to focus on, to tap gratitude, the beauty in your life. What are things, how do you appreciate beauty? For me, a big one also is um, the opportunity to practice mindfulness and what a difference that's made in my life um, in so many ways. And the opportunity to practice with other people together. Uh, Gratitude for that, gratitude for the teachings, um, uh, to have being exposed to it. So there are so many things that we can think of. And if you plan on coming on Thursday, then let me just give you a little joyful homework. It's just to think about, making some time to practice gratitude, to notice how it helps you feel. And to lead into Thursday's talk, do you think you'd be more inclined to feel joy about someone else's good fortune if you already felt that your cup was pretty full?
Mm. Yeah, very, very good reminders. Thank you so much, Greg,
Oh, no, my
for
pleasure.
your teaching. So just as we head towards the end of our session here, just a couple reminders for us all as we work towards the end is ways to keep in touch with us. We're back on Thursday, as you know. We'll be here with Greg and looking forward to that. We have virtual fitness classes, yoga and Zumba classes, as well as wellness webinars on our website, Living Well at Home. And also, if you check out on our partnership with Mindful Magazine on mindful.org/pain, some pain management resources that are both in English and in Spanish. Check us out on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube page, Mind the Moment, where you'll see these sessions and other sessions, and also some interviews Tara has done with other mindfulness researchers in the field. And if you're looking to see prior videos, just click on the video tab to see any of the prior sessions. And Greg would like to leave us with a few more thoughts about gratitude practice as we finish up here. So, Greg.
Just a very short practice from a teacher that I'm very fond of, a Vietnamese monk. Many of you have probably heard of him, Thich Nhat Hanh. And he has many practices, as many of you know, but one of them goes like this. Life can be full of difficulty, pain, and suffering. But it also has the potential to be more than that. The eyes of a baby, the blue sky, the sunrise, the sunset, the smile of a loved one. To just feel pain and to just suffer is not enough. There's more to life. We can train the mind. We can train the mind to tap into joy and wonder, the peace of life. It would be a shame to miss it. The blue sky, the eyes of a baby, the sunrise, the sunset, the smile of a loved one. Life is more than just the pain. There are all these opportunities for wonder and joy. It would be a shame to miss it. So nice to be with you today. Nice to have this opportunity to practice together.
Yeah.
In the spirit of friendliness, try to find time to practice. It can help. It can help all of us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Greg.
You're
What a
welcome.
great
My
way to
pleasure.
start our
Thank
day.
you. Thank you.
Much gratitude for your time here with us today, and looking forward to Thursday.
Me
And
too.
very grateful to the group for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all on Thursday as well.
All right.
Thank
Be
you,
well.
everyone. We'll see
Be
you soon.
safe. Be healthy.
See you soon. Bye-bye.